What is up, guys? It's Samurai Genius, and this is the Python tutorial series part 2. So in this video, you're going to be learning about different ways to store multiple pieces of data. So let's just jump right into it. But before that, here's the solution to the challenge from last video. Alright guys, this is the solution to the last video's challenge. A equals B. Oh no, wait, sorry. A equals 10, B equals 12. Alright, so now if the 10 A equals B equals 10. Alright, so what I just did is I made a variable called A and set it to 10, made a variable called B, set it to 12, and now I made a temporary variable, or just another variable that only use is to just be used to store the value of A before it gets changed. Then A turns into B. Now B can't turn into A because A is the value of B. So B instead is turned into value of 10, which was the value of A. Now, if you didn't understand that, I'm going to add a few print statements and make a visual. So print A, print B, right, copy paste as much as you can because you don't want to waste any time. Save this, and that's not what I meant. Stupid thing, run. Keep on clicking the wrong things. Huh? Oh, wait, never mind. Wait a minute. Alright, let's go. Run Python file. What? Oh, wait. Alright, let's go. Okay, see? A is 10, B is 12, then A is 12, and B is 10. That is the solution. Now let's get to the next part of this video. Alright, so since in this video we're going to be learning how to store multiple pieces of data, let's talk about the 3 ways. There are tuples, lists, and dictionaries. And I'm going to show you each way and what they can and can't do. First, there's the tuple. We can just do num equals parentheses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Now, you can't access anything from this. You can just, it's like constant. You can't change it. It's useful only when in game development or web development when you want to store RGB values, which is 3 values and it's constant for a color. It's not going to change or anything. So that's the only time you're actually going to use it. You can just print nums if you want to and see what it does. So it just prints out that. So next is the list. Now lists are awesome. Most people use lists and it's just really cool. So lists are very commonly used. I wouldn't recommend this as a beginner because when you're a beginner you might want to see what each value means. But if you do this and run it, it pretty much shows the exact same thing. The only difference is in this, you see like the square brackets, because it's like square brackets and not tuples. And you can actually change the values. So you can access this value like this, nums, square bracket, and then the index number of the value. Index numbers are pretty simple. They're a little confusing at first, mostly because they start as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. So, if we want to access the first piece of data in the list, we're going to access the data with the index of 0. And let's just change that to 7. Okay. Now, then if we print the list again, save it and run it. First, it starts off like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, after we change the first piece of data, it turns into 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, lists are pretty useful. You can also loop through them, but like loops is like more farther on and more advanced. We'll probably mention that in the next video. So, this is like pretty cool. Then, there's another way called a dictionary, which are actually pretty cool. Let's just delete these square brackets. And they use curly braces. Now, the difference between these is you can actually use something called a key, which is basically the name. So, a dictionary is pretty much a list full of variables. So, you can do a key of, I don't know, 1 for the value of 1. And then maybe it'll just copy paste that a bunch of times. C, V, Control V, Control V, Control V. Oof, I accidentally did this. Be careful what you're copying. If you're using an IDE, it's pretty simple because, like, it'll show red. But, I mean, and it's pretty noticeable. But if you don't notice it, and, like, you're not really good at noticing stuff, and you're not using an IDE, then you should probably be careful about what you're copy-pasting. And just a 2, like 2, 2, not 12. So this is 2 and a comma, not a 1 and 2. Let's make this a 3. And then let's change this to 4. And let's change this to 5. Alright, so now instead of doing 0, we can actually say 1. But you still have to put quotation marks. So now, if we save it and run it, we're gonna get this. I mean, this does look kind of funky, but when you're printing it, mostly because like dictionaries look weird, but I mean, if you add actual proper keys, like say like employee 1, and then you put like name and age and stuff, then it'll look more neat. But this is literally 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. It's it's a little weird. But you can see how the 1 changed into a 7. And you can access anything. We can actually do like 4 to S, and if we do this, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then see now 4 turned into a 7. So, now, you must be warned, if you're using a list, or if you're like, let's just say 6, and we save it and run it, it's gonna, oh, well, we learned something new today. If you do this, it actually adds a new key. I didn't know that. But now if you try to, like, I don't know, print nums index 8, and we save that, there is no num's index, like with the key of 8. It only goes up to 5, and yeah. So this is going to give an error. Now, you can set nums with a key of 8 to something, but that's just adding on to it. It's not like accessing it. You can do the same thing with lists too. Let's just make this a list now. That's fun to do. Okay, so now we can do like nums index of 8 equals 9. Save it and run it. Never mind, that only works with dictionaries. We're learning so many things. So now you know the 3 different ways of storing multiple pieces of data. Lists are super common because they're super easy to make. Dictionaries, I would recommend for beginners because they're like, they actually show what each piece of data means. So that might be better for beginners because they might think, what are all these numbers? And tuples are pretty much the constants in a variable, of the, multiple data storing community. Constants, if you don't know, are pretty much variables that never change. So, yeah. So, now that we've learned this, we are ready for the challenge. Alright guys, unfortunately there's no challenge for this video because this video is mostly just an extension of the last video. This was just a different way of storing data, so there's not really any challenge for this. But next video there will be a challenge that will include lists and stuff. So, see you later. Samurai out. Look out.